Hi and welcome to Friday's live trading video. I hope you're very well. It is non-farm payroll day today. However, it's only early, it's 7:45 or so, and there may be a trade setting up on one of these markets, so I'll come back to this in just a sec. Okay, so just back, so this is a few charts here of the Aussie. So I've got a deal ticket up here, and we will, I'm just a bit higher, and I'm going to short this. And I'll go through some bits with you once this has only got to go a little bit higher, and I'll short it. And I'll put a stop above the overnight high, and then I'll go out to the higher time frames and show you what's going on. But as it's about to set up. So here we go. Da, da, da. Are you going to do it while I'm recording, or I'm going to have to press pause and then come back to it? I'm going to have to press pause. Back in a second. Okay, just back, and it's just about hitting that, isn't it? So right, okay, I've hit that. Oh, that's clever. It's come up with a. Oh, I see. I've got that. Right, okay. So I'm going to put that stop in. So let me just. I don't want to limit order. It's come up with all sorts. Right, so I'm going to put that stop in at 70.29. So 70.29. Stop goes in. Right, okay. So, okay. So on the Aussie dollar at the moment, let's go out to the hourly chart here. It's rolling over a bit here on the hourlies. I've had something called an RSI extreme, which is one of our sort of setups as well, which suggests that for the low that it's made, it should at least want to come down and break to a new low. So, and I'm doing this trade based on the 4-hour charts that it should want to work its way down into this sort of area here. So that's what I'm working it on. Now, the caveat for today is that it is non-farm payrolls day, and it could be that the Aussie dollar just chops around all morning and it doesn't actually do anything more. We have to take that as a potential. So if that's the case, I will close out of the Aussie dollar trade if it's still sort of hanging around, and I'll have to close out prior to the non-farm payrolls. I'll trade non-farm payrolls, but not. I won't sit in a trade, an intraday trade with an intraday stop, going into non-farm payrolls. I'll trade it afterwards. I'll trade whatever happens after non-farm payrolls later on, but I won't sit on this. So if this doesn't work its way down this morning, then I'll end up just cutting it. Okay, right. I'll press pause for now. Okay, just back, and we can see what's happening with this Aussie dollar now. So if you remember, I say if you remember, you're only 2 minutes 55 in. I have to remember that, or you have to remember that I'm sitting here with our guys in the trading room. If I bring them up, there they are. There they are. They're all there. So I'm sitting here constantly on the mic chatting away with them. We've just done a training session actually, while I'm pressing pause. So you only get to see probably at the end of all this, maybe a 10-minute video or whatever. But we've been chatting away for the last hour and a quarter. Anyway, so I shorted that Aussie dollar into the 15-minute bands here. It overshot them actually. Wanted to come up to the 30-minute. And I said it had done what I call an RSI extreme, which suggests that it should make new lows on a closing, not on a closing basis, but new outright lows, which it's just done actually. So if I now take this to maybe a 5-minute chart for you. So I shorted up here at 18 or so, and it's now has indeed come down to make a new low here. So the thing is, I was just talking again with the guys, is that it is non-farm payroll, and it could be that the Aussie dollar just floats around. It's satisfied that minimum criteria based on the 5-minute charts, but I was trading this based on the bigger time frames anyway. But it could be that it floats around and doesn't do much, in which case I'll have to close out of it ahead of the non-farm payrolls. So we shall see. But I'll definitely be looking to trade today after non-farm payrolls as well, so we'll see. Okay, just back here. It's now 12:45, and as we can see, the Aussie dollar's not really done anything, so I'm going to have to close that position here today. And so I'm closing it there at 15 or so. Remember I got in at whatever it was earlier, 17 or so. So just to few pips. Um, the news is out in 45 minutes. As far as when you're intraday trading, if you're trading through something like non-farm payrolls and you're in a trade like this Aussie dollar trade here today, and you're holding it through non-farm payrolls, it's a bit of a gamble, and so you're better off being flat going into it if you've got an intraday type stop on, which this one had, being flat and then going back to it. The thing is that I can see the potential for the Aussie to obviously still come down, um, and it means that I'll miss out if that's the case. But that's part and parcel of it. You can't. Newer traders tend to look at how much money you missed out on. That's the mindset of a newer type of trader. That's their sort of mindset. Whereas really you should be looking at, okay, I'm a responsible trader, and so I'm not going to do that. So anyway, I'm out of the Aussie dollar now, so flat on that. I'm going to be looking at doing some reviewing shortly, and looking at some of these markets ahead of non-farm payrolls. I can see the potential for the Aussie to come lower. I can see the potential for the euro dollar to carry on coming down. So there's potential there, but we have to be prepared for these markets to go in the opposite direction as well. So I'm going to do some analysis now with the guys in the trading room, and then I'll come back on the mic with you guys in a bit. Okay, just back here with the video. So we've got about 5 minutes to go. I'm going to take these white charts down because I need them off screen, so I can have them all spread out off screen. I don't think there's going to be too much, actually. I've just been going through with the guys. I don't think there's actually too much to go through. The dollar yen, it's had a lovely run here today. This is an hourly chart. If it pulled back down into this zone where my cursor is, then around about 107.90, we're currently at 108.11. That wouldn't be a bad zone to be a buyer of. The 4-hour chart is a bit more conflict there, but anyway, I'll consider that. But I'm not looking to trade immediately on the minute that non-farm payroll is released. It could be that we're waiting around because I don't really have too much of a. I don't need to be in too much of a hurry here today. So the Aussie dollar, that one's still just holding just a little bit lower than where I just exited. But again, we'll have to see. Even if this came up, I'd have to wait until the end of the hour if that was to happen. And so I don't think there's going to be much of a hurry on any of these. I'm looking at the euro as well. Again, it's up a little bit at the moment, but if that was to come up again, I don't think it'd be too much of a hurry because all this prior price action to do anything. So that's where I'm at. So I don't think there's too much of a rush to do anything. There's potential options on dollar CAD and dollar yen, so we'll see. But anyway, for now, I shall press pause. Okay, we've got about 20 seconds to go, and so I've just pressed record so you can see the volatility. So I've just put it on the euro dollar so you can see the volatility as it comes out. And but we're not literally doing anything immediately here anyway, so we're literally just sitting back watching what happens here as the news comes out. So dollar yen shot up, euro dollar's come down, so not much we can do. Dollar yen's already gone up to, blimey, almost to where its target would have been, so not much to do there at the moment. So the initial figure must have been okay. Just waiting to see those figures come through. Oh, 224,000 versus the 160,000 expected, so they came in much better. Much better than expected. So there's our volatility. Nothing too much here, but I'm just going to press pause while I go and have a look at these charts. Okay, so what I'm going to be looking at is a short on the euro dollar, and see if it can come down. It's an obvious place to put the stop, so we'll just see if it can come up enough, and I'll put a short in. So euro dollar ready. So about 49. Okay, right. I put the first unit in there at 49. So I've shorted a first unit, but I'll put split this into two and do 2 units if I get the opportunity to. First short's in there at 49. I'm just going to get the stop sorted out. So I'm that stop up there at, so I'm just getting this sorted out, 112. I'll just put it up there, pop it up there at 68. So I'm just, there you go. So I'm popping the stop in at 112.68. And then I can reserve the right to be able to put an extra unit in. I think this is going to have to come back down. I think that's what it's going to want to do. The momentum's all to pretty much to the downside. So let's see if I can get this next unit in, and there we go. Right, second one in at just over 50. So I've put 2 units in here at 49 point or 49.3 and just over 50. Oh, 51 I got. Okay, so let's get that stop sorted out as well. So let's do this. So 112.68, same as the last one. The entry was at 112.51. So I'm going to see if the euro, excuse me, if the euro dollar, it's coming up, but if it's going to come back down. The print was not was good, was solid for the dollar. It was dollar positive. So we'll see if we can get just a little bit more follow through to the downside here. I'm looking at about 39. It's not a great risk reward, but it's the way it goes sometimes when you're trading on volatility. But if it can get down to 39, which is my daily 50-year moving average, then if it can come down to there, then I'll look to take something off there at least anyway. Okay, I'll press pause for now on the video. So Euro's getting down towards this first target, getting close. So the first target being down at 39. Second target, I haven't even considered too much of a second target, but if we can get down to 39, then that'll be the first exit. So now I've pressed play on the recording. It's decided to sit there. So let's just see if it can get down there. We're currently at 43, nearly there, not too far away, about 4 pips or so away. And so we get down into that daily 50, and that'll be that first target. So let's see if we can get down there. Here we go. So we're nearly there. Close position, nearly, not quite, not quite. Oh, that's been close. I saw it just blip into the upper 39, 39.9 or something like that. I'm looking at my chart off screen, you see, and I think that's about there. It's near as anything it's hit, but I've just missed the exit, so I've now got to wait and see if it can get back down there. It looks like it's more or less hit there as a potential first target. I'll have to wait and see if it can just come down again. So there's enough momentum at the moment for it to still want to do that. So I'm not too fussed about that. So let's see if we can get into the 39s. I'll press pause while we're waiting here. Oh, I think I just saw it. I was looking off screen and I think I just saw it go into the 38s, and then by the time I looked back over here, it was like at 40 again. It's really close today. I'm trying to basically make sure I get as good an exit as I can on this first exit. Basically, I want to make sure it is into the 39s. Oh, I've just realised I've turned the recording back on as well. Yeah, there we go. Oh, so the people who are watching this, we got very close there. Let's see if we can. I'm watching my charts off screen there we go. Right, 39. Okay, 39 dead on. So there's the first profit target taken at 39. Okay, I'm just going to assess where the second target's going to be. So I'll press pause for now. Okay, we've got a 4-hour. We've got a pivot basically down at 112.34. So if we come down to 34, that'll be my second target. Okay, so we're nearly into my second target here. It's just coming into this pivot, and I'll show you the charts in a minute, but I've been watching them off screen rather than having them all here, and then I can't see everything all at once, so I've been needing to watch the charts off screen. The euro dollar obviously could come lower than where I'm going to come out here, but I didn't have too much of a, there we go, out at 33.8. Right, okay. So second exit at 33.8. So not a great risk reward or anything like that today. Sometimes that happens on on big news days because you sort of have to put a stop that bit further away relative to where you might actually be looking to exit, but it's the way it is. Now the euro could obviously carry on coming down, but I don't have analysis for that. So that hence why I've taken the shorter profits there. Just comes down to analysis basically. If I had analysis that I was looking for much bigger move to the downside, then I'd be holding on to it, but I don't. So I'll just press pause while I get the charts over. Okay, so the target on the euro was my first target was at 39, which was this black moving average, which is my daily 50. The second target was then on an intraday basis was down here actually using a 5 minute chart. We had a 4 hourly S3 pivot, so that was down at 34, and that's why I took that profit down there at 34. So those are my two exits. So nothing too super duper because on the euro. Some of the other markets have had some lovely moves, but anyway, those were the two exits there. So there you go. So as far as the Aussie dollar concerned, that came down today as well, but it was still the right thing to do. So the pattern was there, like it was this morning, but I couldn't justify staying in it ahead of the non-farm payrolls. So fortunately, that I managed to get that trade in on the euro there. So we are all done for this week. I'll leave you to it for now. Ciao for now. Ciao. See you next week at some point.